I watched a Netflix documentary called The Manosphere, and I rewatched it again just the other day just to get it refreshed in my memory because I have followed a huge amount of guys, online influencers, coaches, you name it. I've been watching their videos, and a lot of them has throughout the entire thing been very motivating and very helpful. Some of them have changed in the way they've done things, and I think maybe about when we had the COVID-19, the lockdown, and everything, a lot of things changed again because people were home, people were depressed, they couldn't be social, which human beings need. And I think the influencers and the influence marketing business itself evolved in that way. At the same time, the feminists and the woke culture woke up, and I think that that kind of movement along the opportune thing happening for women that they now have more options, more opportunities, equal rights, which they should. All of this, it changes what it means to be a man. Because if everybody is equal nowadays, at least in terms of how we are valued, what does that mean for the man who was supposed to be the protector and the provider in the past? And all of this combined into one part of fuck up has changed how social media works, how human beings work. And if you're a young man today and you don't know how it is to be a man, what it means to be a man, and you do as I did, go online, you might find different influences than I did. And then they made the Manosphere documentary. So the Manosphere, just to break that down, it's the word that describes this atmosphere for young adults, young men from, I think it's all the way down to maybe 12 or 13 years and up until I'm 29 and I still watch it. So like a large portion of people, of young men, looking at these influences. And if the message is how to get confidence, how to get more energy, a purpose in life, I find that very helpful. I think that's beautiful that we can help people in that way. That's what I want to do myself. But if the message is to contradict feminism and the wokeness around us by being misogynistic, by hating women or demeaning women or other people in general, I think that's a shame that that's where we are headed. And unfortunately, that is where a lot of these influencers are headed and have been heading for quite some time. So I saw the Manosphere, the documentary, and I already knew before watching it that this might be dangerous. Because usually when people document a certain thing, it is from one point of view. Which means that if I go into a certain venue or a certain store and I already hate it, my documentary about that place won't be positive. So I thought to myself, okay, if male influences and the manosphere itself is already looked at negatively, this documentary is not going to do it any better. And I was afraid of that because there are a need for some influencers out there to actually help these young men. But if we only see it through the lens of negativity, of toxic masculinity, whatever that is, then we might take away this option for the young men to actually get help from whoever is online, the uncle they never had or the dad they never had, the big brother, who could help them. I want to say, first of all, that the people portrayed in that documentary are maybe also some of the most extreme scenarios. I recognize some of them as being the influencers I saw 5 years ago, 10 years ago, who I was actually looking up to. And now they changed their way of working and the message they are providing to be very extreme. And they also dive into different aspects of life. Like all of a sudden, what was once influencing people online is now politics. And if you are 14 years old and you have no father figure, you don't know what it means to be a man today because you are taught all the way that women and men are the same, which I find to be bullshit. But if that's what you're taught and you don't get any other perspective or you don't get any explanation of what that means, and then you go online to see this rich guy who drives a Lamborghini, who has all these women in their bikinis looking great, you want his life, right? So if you look up to this guy and he says, you need to be misogynistic, women belong in the kitchen, They shouldn't have voting rights, whatever they may say, these guys, and you don't have any other thing to counter that, of course you're gonna get colored by that. It's literally propaganda.
It's for everybody trying to change the destination. It's for everybody